All right, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Big waves to you. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. All right. First thing in the morning, make sure you got the right Zoom room so you're not sitting in there by yourself like I was this morning. And after this, if you're in our company or if you take our products, maybe you're not even in our company, you just use our products. Dr. Ray Strand is going to be on the other side talking about some things this morning on the 9:15 call. So I put that and I posted that everywhere. All right. The word for today, and Andrea, I don't know if you see Miss Connie here, but if it is, it's Connie's birthday. I'd love to sing to her, let her hear our beautiful voices. But anyway, we'll look around and see if she's here this morning. Our word for today is generate. Generate. And just really quick, I want to go with you my thoughts on generate. I want you to think about yourself. And it's like cause, like something, especially an emotion, a situation, you're causing something to arise or to come about, right? Um, you're bringing something in existence, generate. How many of you right now are like, maybe you're on a health movement where you're like, I'm going to generate this in my life? Or maybe you're on a financial movement where you say, I'm going to generate this. I'm where I'm at, and here's what I'm going to create. Maybe it's your business, and you're like, here's where I'm at, and here's the rank I want to achieve. So here's what I got to generate. Here's where I want to go with the word this morning. I I really do. I spend my days talking to people every day, and I know you do too. And so many times I see people that want to generate things in their life, but they're speaking negative thoughts in existence. I can't, I don't know how, I don't have the same. Oh, I don't have as big of a team. I Everything in their head is they're breathing negative into existence rather than positive. And here's what my point is. Positive thoughts generate positive feelings and attract positive life experiences. So I believe what we think, it goes out into the universe and we draw back to us. So if we're thinking negative, we will find negative, even more negative. If we're thinking positive, if we're thinking things in our head, so how many of you ever think negative? Surely not any of us in here. We never have negative thoughts. Okay. Here's the thing, we're always going to have negative things come into our head. We just got to be careful to watch them come out of our mouth, right? I've only got two people to show up last night. Oh my gosh, I got two people. Two people were there last night. Same situation, two different results of how it's coming out of my mouth. So, what's coming out of your mouth? I got to speak in existence, positivity, and generate what I want in life. And so here's the thing, everything begins with a thought. So I want to get healthy. I want to lose some weight. You know what? I might have to go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get me a new pair of sneakers to get me excited, right? I might have to go get me a new pair of shorts to run in. I've got to speak into existence. Oh my goodness, I'm getting to do this to create this. How many of you go through a health goal and you're like, I'm fluffy. I've lost 1 pound, but I've got 15 I need to lose. Do you hear that coming out of my mouth? Oh my gosh, I lost a pound yesterday. How amazing. Guess what? I'm going to do whatever I did yesterday. I'm going to do it a percent better today. And I know tomorrow is going to be even better. Okay. So I'm speaking positive. Same way when you're wanting to grow your business. Maybe you're sitting here and you're like, I need to grow from where I'm at to where I want to go. Like I got to get bigger. So I've got to clean off my desk. Oh my goodness, I'm going to get organized. What do I need today to get organized? What do I need in my portfolio to extend my business to the next level? Right? Or the person that sits there and goes, my business is not where it needs to be. Everybody else is growing and I'm not. The negative coming out of my mouth, the negative thoughts is not going to breed positivity and growth and generate movement in my future. But clearing off the desk, making a names list, creating this new movement, to saying, hey, I'm going to attack 4 a day or 5 a day. I'm going to chip away at it, creates the growth 90 days down the road in my business. Same way with my finances. And I'm going to end with this. If you can't celebrate earning an extra dollar in your life, you've got a problem. If you're sitting there going, I don't have any money, my finances are tight, I only added $1 to my bank account in my savings, you're not going to generate where you want to go. But if you're like, oh my gosh, today, this week, I put back an extra $1. And that dollar's getting me closer to the goal I want of having $1 million in my bank account. And guess what I'm going to do next week? Next week, I'm going to find a way to create $2 and make that positive movement. So if I'm always looking at things, I got 2 ways to look. If I want to generate more success in Brent Palmer's life, I got to generate more positive thoughts and positive vibes coming out of my mouth that control those negative reactions and don't allow those to come out of my mouth. So that's my thought today. I'm talking to myself. It was a great word, generate. So Andrea, thanks for the word. I'll turn it to you.
Well, I have a little bit of a funny. So you and I are like parallel in our lesson this morning. But the funny thing is that when I heard it coming out of your mouth, like all of a sudden it hit me. Isn't that interesting when like you can say something, but it doesn't quite hit it? You know, I had it in writing, but then to hear it come from you, I was like, okay, I need this. So I'm going to still do my lesson, but you guys will see there's going to be they're pretty parallel. So the quote that I found was we generate fears while we sit and we overcome them by action. And that's Dr. Henry Link. And that just hit me because I think about how many times do we sit and stew? Maybe it's just me, but we sit and stew. And I might have done a little bit of that this morning where I'm thinking the negative, right? And I'm worrying about this and I'm worrying about that and I'm worrying about this. But then the minute we get up and we take action, we just do it. Like we get through the scary thing, you know, kind of like the line to the roller coaster. Anybody else like sweat from head to toe when you're in line for the roller coaster? You get on it, you think you're about to die, and then you get off the other end and you're like, okay, I made it. Now that is not joy filled for me. I'm not a roller coaster person, but really the worst part is the line waiting for it, right? And I think with life that it can be that way too. When we just take action, it gets a little bit better. So what I looked into is what are we looking to generate in life? Like, what do we want, right? Maybe we want more joy, more income, more safety or security, connection, health, peace, calm. Like those were kind of some of the things that I thought, well, if I could make these things, I absolutely would want to. So I'm going to say, and I'll take a little stand here to say that everything that we want to generate depends on one thing. And that's taking appropriate action in that area, right? And so if I want to generate more joy, then I've got to take the time to do more things that make me happy, right? And maybe that's, you know, being out in the sunshine or playing with the puppy or, you know, snuggle time or exercise or reading a book. I don't know, ice skating. I have no idea. Being on the tennis court. I have no idea. The things that bring you joy, whatever it may be, well, we've got to make time for those things that make us happy, even if it's just 1 minute in every single day, so we can generate more of that joy. If I want to generate more income, right? I want to add additional dollars to my bank account, like Coach said, well, I've got to take action in my work. in the things that generate income. So for my business, I don't know about yours, but that means I've got to pick up the phone one more time. I've got to make one more post. I've got to host one more event, but I've just got to generate a little bit more action in that area. If I want to generate more security, well, first of all, I've got to figure out, what does that mean to you? Maybe you're a prepper, and that means that you've got a year's worth of food and water and supplies in your cabinet in your home, and that makes you feel secure. Maybe that is your relationship, and you need to strengthen that because that's what gives you security. Maybe it's your savings account and that walk away money that we've talked about and your investments. But whatever makes you feel that sense of security, well, we've got to make an action plan and get to work in order to generate it. If I want to generate stronger connections, well, what do I have to do? I've got to take action to show up and be present. When I go somewhere, I got to put this little beautiful connecting device that can be a disconnecting device in person, and I got to leave it in my purse, right? I'm not even on the table. Like, I got to put it away. I've got to be present when I'm with those people. If I want to generate robust health, right? So I can crawl around on the ground with my grandbabies someday, those imaginary grandbabies, so I can lift my luggage in the overhead bin so I can travel all around this world. Well, then I've got to take action right now to treat this little temple very, very well, to exercise, to take the right supplementation, to eat the right foods, to make positive choices more often than the negative ones. I'm not getting rid of the negative because that's the joy, right? We talked about that in the beginning, but I've got to do the positive more often than the negative. And then if I want a more calm home, a more peaceful life, well, then I got to look around and figure out what's stealing that peace and work to remove those obstacles. And maybe that obstacle is me. So I've got to do some of that self-talk that Coach was talking about to generate more peace in my home. So obviously this was super simplistic, right? But what I love about it is that in each area that I might want to improve, in each bit that I might want to generate a little bit more, there's actions that I can actually control. Because, I love control. Yeah, there might be all kinds of things outside our control, but if we just focus on the things that we can control, that we can generate to get a little bit more, man, what can we create? So thank you for this one, Coach. I appreciate it. And I love when we go little parallel lines. That was a good one today
Yeah,
for
we
me.
don't do that often. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. So anyway, I love this, love this, love this. And as we end today, it's like it all is about, if you want to generate, you got to create the actions in the right areas to generate. We can read all the books, we can listen to all the audios, but at the end of the day, we got to find those half a dozen things that actually move the needle and go take action in those. So guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Happy Tuesday out there, and we'll